Today we turn eastwards to Málaga, but not the Málaga most of us are used to visiting. Today we travel beyond the Costa del Sol, even beyond Málaga city to the margins of Andalucía, to the Sierra de la Axarquía. The trip there is simple. Take the A7 motorway bordering the coast until you hit exit 277 towards Algarrobo, and keep going up the long and winding road that leads to Sayalonga, our destination. The Axarquía has a subtropical climate boasting some of the mildest temperatures in Europe. It is green and breathtakingly beautiful, and has not yet been spoiled by the influx of mass tourism. Its main attractions are the area's dramatic hill and mountain scenery, its unspoiled whitewashed villages, and lately, some very interesting wine producers who are finally putting the region on the map for more than just sweet Moscatel. Bodegas Bentomiz is a boutique winery high up in the hills of Málaga, in the heart of the Axarquía. The enclave, nestled in an epic mountain crest but still in plain view of the Mediterranean Sea, is truly something special. The building of the winery does not fall far behind either. It is a real beauty of modern architecture, wonderfully defiant in its sharp, edgy lines, yet harmoniously integrated due to its chalk-clad walls in earthy tones. Hello, Clara.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you for having
Welcome.
us today.
Yes, you're very welcome.
We're very, very lucky to be here with these beautiful views and this beautiful building.
Thank you.
Else.
The views is something that we did not change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to know more about Bodegas Bentomiz and you show me around.
Yes, we'll show you around. We'll tell you a little bit of the history behind it and how we started, and if you're interested.
Fantastic, of course I am. Let's
Okay,
go for it.
let's go. When we arrived here, that was 25 years ago, we weren't aware that we had bought an old vineyard. It was an abandoned vineyard.
Right.
We started replanting, helped by our neighbors because we didn't know anything about viticulture. And later on we bought this very old vineyard from a neighbor.
Okay.
It all started as a hobby actually.
Right, because you come from Holland.
Yes.
Why do you come here?
We came here not with the purpose of making wine, also not to relax like many foreigners do, no. Well, we just wanted a change in our lives. That was the motivation to go to Spain. Why Spain? Because, well, we were attracted by the way of life and the people, especially Andalusia. We really enjoy visiting and now living here. As we happened to have settled in a winemaking area, and we were already very interested in wine, the drinking part. We were quite good at that, and we thought, well, let's then also try and grow some grapes. And in the year 2007, I gave up the language school and dedicated myself 100% to making wine. And then we also, professionalized, and
we thank you for that. We thank you for that.
The whole downstairs floor is a production area, and then on the first floor we have our offices and the restaurant and the kitchen. Shall we have a look inside?
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is where we have our tanks as well as the barrels. And here is where the wines get their time before we bottle them. We normally harvest around August, September. and already quite early in this area. Of course, we have a lot of sun, so a lot of sun means that your grapes ripen rather early. And then around April, May is the period when we are bottling, which is on the other side of this wall. We have a bottling plant. What I prefer in my wines, I would like them to be fresh and elegant. I'm not a big fan of these really big bombs, you know, so I do not want too much alcohol, nor do I want too much oak influence.
Okay.
So our complete range is now 8 or 9 different wines, and some of them get aging on oak barrel, but others don't. Like my dry white wine, which is of Moscatel de Alejandría, and my rosé, which is of the Romé grape. Romé is an indigenous red grape of this area. Only exists in the Axarquía.
And I believe it was almost extinct. This
Yes, and it is, and we are trying to bring more life to this grape again. So everybody who plants new vineyards, we encourage them to draft with the Romé. Then we have a red wine, which is a blend of different varieties, and very important are my 3 unfortified sweet wines. 2 of them are Moscatel de Alejandría, and 1 is a red unfortified wine. So unfortified means that when we reach a moment that I have the right balance between the sweetness and the alcohol, I do not stop fermentation by adding alcohol. As you know, the alcohol will kill the yeast cells, and then you have a sweet wine. I have a different method because I prefer to keep alcohol lower, as I told you, so I would like to have around 13% of alcohol. So when I want to stop fermentation, I pump the must over into another tank, I get rid of the lees, and I bring temperature back from 15 degrees to -3 or 4, so below 0 Celsius.
And you were saying that you like your wines to be fresh, to be obviously the terroir, the soil of this area will help with that, to give minerality to the wines.
Exactly. So first we have the Mediterranean quite near. We've got the views on the sea. Linea recta is maybe 7 kilometers. So we have these breezes that cool down the vineyards in summer. Another factor is that we are quite high up. The vineyards are between 500 and 850 meters high. That also cools down. It's important. Then we have old vines. They may be 80, 90, maybe even 100 years old.
Right.
Yeah, that's important because, you know, the older the vine, the less it yields, but the better the quality, another asset. And we have slate soils. Now, these slate soils, in combination with the salty breezes, give an enormous minerality to our wines. And to keep them fresh, to not have too much alcohol, and a good acidity, which I think is fundamental, not only for the sweet wines, for all my wines. I harvest rather early, when the grape is mature, but not over mature. So that is, the moment of harvesting is for me, for my style of making wines, also very important.
Every detail is taken care of in this winery. The century-old vines enjoy the ideal natural environment. The bush vines are trimmed year to year so that new sprouts grow into branches with leaves that provide the fruit with essential shade. The tour of the winery is comprehensive, and one can see the artistry and good taste of Clara and Andre at every step. They have managed to couple the lovely wines not only with amazing nature, but also with attractive design. Andre, the chef of the winery, owner of the kitchen with best views that I have ever seen, can provide carefully crafted menus for visitors who want the full enoturistic experience. All this craft, as well as the very personal style of vinification, produces a range of award-winning delicate wines.
So Clara, we are the wine altar, as you call it.
Yes.
You've got your whole portfolio here, your whole range of wines.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to learn more about them and to taste.
And I'm very much looking forward to you having tasted together with us.
Fantastic.
So I'd like to taste this wine with you, which is
I'm very much looking forward to this because it's 100% Romé, correct?
This is 100% Romé, which is the indigenous red grape of our area. I use it in my red blend most years, but there is so little of it that sometimes I have to dedicate it 100% to this rosé. Yes. This is not a rosé as you may expect it. Sometimes rosés are very, very fruity, strawberry, raspberry. I think what is most important in this wine is the minerality. So it reflects almost to the perfection the combination of the salty sea winds, the breezes that rest on the slate soils. That is what you are going to find in this glass of wine.
And this is aged on lees, yes? Because you can feel that complexity, that creaminess in the mouth.
Exactly.
Of
the lees give the wine a nice texture. Structure, but not structure of wood, of oak, but structure of the grape itself, lees.
Correct.
And then what is also very important working with the lees is that they leave such a pleasant aftertaste that makes the wine longer. And so here what we have is a lot of blossom again and a very, very pleasant minerality.
It's a very, very elegant, quite complex rosé. And despite being light and obviously fresh because of the minerality and the acidity, it's got that body of the lees and I suppose of the grape variety, which is a full-bodied rosé.
It is.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm also very pleased with this product. It's very nice with seafood, with fish. Andre in the kitchen creates dishes like sometimes lobster. It's nice with this, or ceviche. Ceviche with this wine is also very nice.
I can also see this with things like a ratatouille or grilled vegetables.
Yeah,
I think would be
definitely
a
as
great
well.
combination.
Yes, definitely.
Right, so we have now your Moscatel Dulce, your sweet Moscatel, which is sometimes taken, Moscatel de Málaga, taken very lightly. But there are some very serious Moscatels, and this is one of them.
Yes, as I told you, we make 3 different unfortified sweet wines, and one of them is this one. It's called Ariyanas Naturalmente Dulce. The year that we are now having is 2012. So yeah, this wine has already had a lot of aging on the bottle, which makes it more and more interesting. It has a very long life. Actually, something that I'm quite proud of is that just in the beginning of January, we got a very, very good notice that it was chosen by a jury of Spanish wine writers and journalists as the best sweet wine of Spain 2019. Yeah. So, and it was this vintage 2012. So you're drinking something, interesting at least. It still has the Moscatel grape in the nose, but now there is a complexity and a freshness. It remains very fresh.
Again, that minerality, that freshness, because it's not cloying at all. It's got some acidity, some freshness.
That is exactly what we're trying to achieve. That it is fresh, not cloying, not sticky. It's not licorice either. It only has 13% of alcohol.
Right.
Yeah. To make something so light and so pleasant as a dessert wine, you still feel like having a glass of this, after your meal. Having said that, it is also very interesting as an aperitif. It sort of makes you, it opens your appetite, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that not only as a pudding wine, but also with some strong cheese, with some blue cheese,
that's
even some foie.
Yes.
If I could say about your wines, is that they have the minerality, they have the character, and they're quite unique. And also, the visit to the winery, the whole experience of visiting the winery is fantastic for anyone that wants to come and visit. Go to your website and book the visit, because it's incredible. Apart from the views and what you have around the wineries.
We really enjoy receiving people here and giving them a good time and hoping that they will enjoy it.
I definitely enjoyed it. So thank you very much, Clara.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.